Once the production system has been put into operation, two general classes of activities must be performed. These activities are productive activities and supportive activities. Let us first discuss about productive activities. After the initial trial period, during which the workers become familiar with the production processes, management will expect the system to produce at a rate sufficient to satisfy market demand. It is the function of the line organization, that is from production manager to first level supervisor. So the production of the line organization works with labor, raw materials and machinery to produce on time the required amount of product with the desired quality at the budgeted cost. But there will be some obstacle to meeting production standards. Management must be prepared to deal with any obstacle to meeting the production standards. Among these obstacles are low output, then inferior quality and excessive manufacturing costs. Low output is about any number of factors may be responsible for the system's failure to meet the design standards for output. First is raw material suppliers may fail to meet delivery dates or may furnish material out of specification. The purchasing department must attempt to educate the vendor as to the importance of delivery dates and specifications, although the effectiveness of this strategy is limited when, as is often the case in developing nations, there is only one supplier. Increasing the price paid and sending technicians to assist the vendor generally improve this situation. Number 2, the coordination of production scheduling slows the delivery of finished products when, for example, completely assembled automobiles wait for bumpers. Scheduling personnel may require additional training or closer supervision. Often, scheduling personnel or any production workers for that matter are unaware of the importance of their jobs because they have not been shown the big picture. And firms that teach employees why they do what they do as well as how find that this pays off in creating better attitude which results in higher productivity. This has become crucial as firms strive for participative management, which is essential to synchronous production. The cultural forces of attitudes toward authority and great difference between the educational levels common in many countries establishes a gulf between managers and workers. Getting the participative management necessary for just-in-time and synchronous production will necessitate workers making sizable cultural changes which in our opinion will require many years to attain. Now number 3 is absenteeism. Absenteeism, always a problem for production managers everywhere in meeting production standards, has become even more significant in bottleneck operation of a synchronous production system. Imagine the problems that occur when the entire department is idled because workers are at home helping the extended family with the harvest. And when poor transportation systems make getting to work difficult, companies frequently provide transportation. To counteract absences due to illness and injury, they subsidize workers' lunches, prepared by trained nutritionists, and provide special shoes and protecting clothing. Of course, management has the problem of educating workers not to remove the restraining apparel that they have never used before. So this was all about productive activities. Now we talk about inferior product quality, that is also an obstacle. Goods Good quality is relative, very important. What passes for good quality in the industrialized nations may actually be poor quality, where a lack of maintenance and operating skills requires looser bearing fits and strong but more unwieldy parts. If the product or service satisfies the purpose for which it is purchased, then the buyer considers it to be of good quality. Production quality standards are not set arbitrarily. It is the responsibility of the marketers, after studying their target market, to choose the price quality combination they believe is most apt to satisfy that market. On the basis of this information, the quality standards for incoming materials in process items and finished products should be established. Now, the excessive manufacturing costs. Any manufacturing cost that exceeds the budgeted cost is excessive and naturally is of concern to the marketing and financial manager as well as the production personnel. Low output for any of the reasons we have discussed may be the cause, but the fault may also lie with the assumptions underlying the budget. Over-optimistic sales forecasts with assumptions of failure of suppliers to meet delivery dates, the failure of the government to issue import permits for essential raw materials in time, and unforeseen water or power failure are a few of the reasons why output may be lower than expected. Finance, the one headquarters department that would ordinarily act to limit inventory building, will not move aggressively to stop the practice in countries afflicted with hyperinflation. It knows that under this condition, sizable profit can be made by being short in cash and long in inventory. We have so far discussed about productive activities. I am going to discuss now about supporting activities. Every production system requires staff to provide the supportive activities essential to its operation. Two of these qualities, control and inventory control, You must be knowing about them. Let us look now at the purchasing, maintenance, and technical functions. Purchasing. Production depends on the purchasing department to procure the raw materials, component parts, supplies, and machinery it requires to produce the finished product. The inability to obtain these materials when needed can result in costly shutdowns and lost sales. If the buyers agree to price higher than what competitors are paying, the firm must either sell the finished product at higher prices or price competitively and earn less profit. The quality of the finished product may suffer if the quality of the purchased materials is inadequate. Whether to fill the critical position of purchasing agent with a local citizen or with someone from the home office is often the subject of considerable debate at headquarters. A native has the advantage of being better acquainted with the local supply sources and government officials, but he or she might suffer from such cultural disadvantages as tendency to favor members of the extended family or to accept as a normal business practice the giving or receiving of bribes. The employee from the home office, on the other hand, will be experienced in company purchasing procedures and should be free of these cultural disadvantages. Managers are not so naive as to believe that belonging to a certain cultural guarantees an individual will or will not engage in unethical activities. However, the tendency to commit these acts may be greater when there are no cultural constraints. Now, maintenance. A second function supporting production is the maintenance of buildings and equipment. The aim of the maintenance department is to prevent the occurrence of unscheduled work stoppages caused by equipment failures. Because of difficulty in obtaining imported spare parts and machinery, the machinery shops of many maintenance departments actually manufacture these items. Now the technical function. The function of the technical department is to provide production with manufacturing specifications. Usually, technical personnel are also responsible for checking the quality of inputs and the finished product. The task of the technical department of a foreign subsidiary is not simply one of maintaining a file of specifications sent by the home office, because difficulty in obtaining the same kind of raw materials as those used by the home plants may require substitutions that necessitate the complete rewriting of specifications. The affiliate's technical manager is a key figure in maintenance of product quality and thus is extremely influential in selecting sources of supply. Global and multinational companies go to great lengths in persuading host governments and joint venture partners of the need to place one of their people in this position. In this way, they are certain to keep the affiliate as a captive customer, purchasing all of the inputs that the more highly integrated parent manufactures. Log on to my website www.asifjmeer.com. I also invite you to visit my blog at asifjmeer.wordpress.com. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.